host, your Master Lee.
And Lulu.
Oh my God, what is all the nerd fantasy announcements coming out of Comic-Con? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's Comic-Con. Dungeons and Dragons, a new movie trailer.
No, I already forgot about this one.
Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, there isn't a movie series that was ever made that was great about this, or a written book series. It's based off of like dice rolling fantasy game type of thing. It's a game that the kids in Stranger Things are playing, Dungeons and Dragons.
Ah.
And I would say it's probably the most definitive sort of fantasy experience that like every nerd kid grew up playing, but they still haven't figured out how to do it in media yet. I don't get it. Like, I feel like this is the one thing that they totally should have nailed. Even before Lord of the Rings became big or The Witcher became a TV show, they should have done something with this. Now they decided to make a movie. I don't know if they should have made a movie. I honestly think they probably should have done a TV show, because this is a world that's probably even richer than, you know, what Tolkien had created, because it's just so many monsters and lore and things that you can dig into for this. Like, to shove it in one movie, I feel like it might be a little tricky.
Oh, no.
We'll see. I mean, the truth is, I don't know if I would watch this yet. My initial reaction is, well, so here's the thing, right? I hate to admit this because it just almost sounds like I'm not into nerd culture, but I remember when I was playing this game as a kid, like, you know, nerdy Asian friends, we got together, you know, we roll the dice, we play, and we were create our character. My brother would be playing, my friends would be playing. You sit around, you create stories like, all right, monster attacks you, roll your dice. I feel like we never ever got past about an hour's worth of playing before we started throwing dice at each other and kicking and fighting each other, because like we just...
Are you serious?
It's just like one of those games where you end up fighting each other if you don't have like good planning and whatnot. So I never got into it because it was just boring. It's like you can change rules, right? You can just say, all right, monster attack you. What do you do? Well, what I'm going to do is whip out my super kung fu kick and double triple flip with my Horyuken. And like, well, you can't do that. Like, oh, why can't I? Right? You're supposed to make
so
it
there's
up.
no rules?
That's just it. It's like, it's pure imagination. There is a set of rules, but it's like you got to read books and books of this stuff to follow the rules. And at some point, you're like, just make it up.
Oh, God.
That's why the games, like Dungeons and Dragons games, work so much better, because it takes away all the calculation and the thinking and allows the graphics in the game to like pull you in, and it does all the calculations automated. And that's why it works so well. But that's why I never got into it. Like, to me, this was the reason why I'm like, I hate these board games. Like, after this point, I stopped playing Monopoly, any kind of board game, because like, unless it could be in digital form, like, I didn't like it. That's why I got into video games. That's why I got into creating video games, because I could add my own graphics and sound and like branching paths of like the best storylines you can create versus people making shit
versus traditional board games.
Yeah,
like,
it's just not fun, especially like when you're a bunch of fifth graders coming up with storylines. Like, fifth grader storylines suck, man. Like, let's be real, right? It was never fun for us.
Oh, dear.
I don't know how other people had fun with Dungeons and Dragons, to be honest, but hey, to each their own. Share your experience. Did you guys have fun playing this game growing up? Because I hated it so much that I decided to make video games for a living. That's how much I hated it. To prove why it, like, old school pen and paper sucked. That was
your motivation.
That was my motivation.
Good for you, though. Now look at you. Where you at?
That's like saying, you know, I hate walking so much, I want to vet a car, right?
Yeah.
All right, hey, if you want some more cool commentary, check out my podcast.
And if you want some hotness, check out my fantasy show.
That's right. All right, and away we go. Damn. What was that dragon spewing? That was cool.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you
is that Chris Pine?
You're bound to make enemies.
Well, this must be big
those
budget.
Enemies come looking for revenge.
The dragon just spit what?
I don't know. It looks like
lava?
Acid? Vomit?
Truth be told,
Acid reflux.
we helped the wrong person steal the wrong thing. We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over
Oh,
Oh!
she's in this too. Well, this
It's a
is
fighting chance. We're
this
gonna
is
need strength.
interesting.
You got this, right?
I know you don't.
Oh, she can be good at this.
Ooh,
We also
damn.
need courage, magic, and you.
Looks like Hermione.
Oh!
Oh, that's a bugbear.
Oh!
It's an owlbear.
What is that again? It's an owlbear.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. I like her.
Be warned.
Oh, she can
There is
go
evil
to
here.
different time? Or?
Multiverse.
I'm glad he's on our side.
This one's dangerous.
They even got Mimic in it.
Who?
They got way too many monsters going on here.
We'll be ready.
What is it exactly that you bring to this?
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
you make plans that fail.
No,
He also plays the lute.
not relevant.
So he's human. Like he has no magic, nothing.
I don't know. Good question. He's the planner. That's all I got. Just like, there's a
You always
transporter.
need a or leader, right? Planner, leader, what to do. Because some people are just followers.
Why does it have to be a white, handsome dude that's always leading? Huh? Why can't it be a
Asian?
short, bald Asian dude? I can lead a team.
That's right.
I lead a team at work. A bunch of
Yeah.
other nerds. I can lead a squad of thieves. You know
What do you
this
think? What do you think
feel-
then?
This was so unexpected. I honestly didn't halfway through. I'm like, what this feels like? This feels like Guardians of the Galaxy, except for they actually went to the multiverse of Game of Thrones. That's what it feels like. Game of Thrones mixed with Guardians of the Galaxy.
That is so true. It has that vibes, right?
It's
Like,
totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
The music too. I'm like, why did you not pick a fantasy music? But like, no, it's almost like this new trend now where
Right.
despite the
Comedic,
setting,
and then-
they try to pick music now that's just cool. Like even like the last Elvis movie we saw, like the soundtrack is half from that era, but they would remix it to be like modern day. They would have hip hop elements in it. They would have it was just like the soundtrack was really cool.
I think I'm not quite
You're not sold?
understanding. No. I'm not quite understanding the whole movie or the game, but I think it's pretty good. Just like with the characters and how they play and how they,
You do
it's,
you not follow the
it's
plot?
really
So
good.
what do you think the plot's about?
I don't know.
Okay.
they're thieves.
And what do they
and then
steal?
They stole the demon thorn. What do you call the horn?
Like, well, that's it.
Was that right?
Would you rather watch this or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, of course.
There you go.